Hi, Scott and Alanna here. Today we'll be presenting to you our digital artefact chosen for EDUC1751 Storybird.
Storybird is a free online website designed for creating miniature stories based around a collection of similar images. It is an effective multi-literate tool which encourages students to use their imagination and literacy skills on a different platform to traditional story writing in a book.
So how does it work? Once students have finished browsing through collections or pictures and have made a choice on what type of images they want to write about, they simply click on the image's lightning icon which begins the start of the book. Once students have written on the first page and begun constructing their story, it is then as simple for them to hit the plus icon, drag a new image onto their page and type the next part of their story. This then continues with as many images as they see fit until they have finished their story. So what are the pros of using Storybird in the classroom? Storybird relates to this real-world notion as it helps students respond to and explore their own experiences using representations which are digitally produced.
Storybird directly relates to the K-6 English syllabus in a Stage 2 setting, as it requires students to think imaginatively, creatively and interpretively about information and ideas. Students are able to engage personally while they create stories that explore their own experiences. Another connection to the syllabus is that it requires students to use grammatical features, punctuation and vocabulary relevant when responding and composing.
So as fun and engaging as Storybird is, how as teachers can we effectively incorporate it into the classroom? Seeing as how Storybird offers vastly different picture portfolios, Storybird is capable of being used across multiple curriculums but would be best suited to English units and incorporating general capability aspects. For example, Storybird could be used at the end of a Stage 2 unit for creative writing as a summative assessment task where students are being assessed on their imaginative writing, punctuation and vocabulary skills.
The notion of real-world connection is visioned by Mark Prensky, in which he mentions it's about what we teach in terms of education excelling in the 21st century. Prensky states that adapting to this new context of change, variability and uncertainty is the biggest challenge we are now facing as educators and as people. As previously mentioned, Storybird relates to this real-world notion as it helps students respond to and explore their own experiences using representations which are digitally produced.
Looking at Storybird's usefulness through a 21st century learner's pedagogical lens, you can truly see how Storybird is perfect for student cognitive development. Storybird at its core is getting students to make their own story, which in relation to Bloom's taxonomy is at the top for higher order thinking skills through creation. Storybird also incorporates other Bloom's higher order thinking skills such as evaluation and analysing, and also the lesser skills such as understanding, creating a broader range of skill development.
These aspects relate to the quality teaching model in that Storybird helps facilitate quality teaching and promote learning. It does this by engaging students through the significance aspect of the framework. Students engage in the stories they create digitally, in that it is narrative driven while also building up on their individual background and cultural knowledge as the foundation of creativity. It requires them to apply deep knowledge, deep understanding, problematic knowledge, higher order thinking, meta-language in order to create meaningful stories. Storybird provides a quality learning environment in that it creates a scaffolding for student direction and explicit quality criteria that can be set by the teacher.
Building off from the quality teaching framework, another great aspect about Storybird in relation to current teaching standards is how it provides differentiation for students. This is achieved by students being able to use Storybird with any level of literacy skills and using it to work toward their own goal. This ties in nicely with Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, in which Storybird encourages students to bring their own strengths and abilities in which they excel to create the story. Finally, as great as Storybird is as a digital teaching tool for students with its many positives, it does have a few drawbacks. These include equity issues such as students not being able to access Storybird at home, and also the user interface of the program and website traversal in general.